Hello, everyone. Good day and welcome to One Global Movement. Speak with Heart, another exciting day. Always exciting to be here because to me, there is no other thing that anyone can do that is better than investing in children, investing in young people. And of course, when you invest in these children, you're investing in families, you're investing in all of humanity. Thank you guys so much. And I always like to pay. Oh my God, what happened here? Ah, what happened? He
What do you mean? I hear you.
Something just covered the screen. I'm sorry, guys. Something just acted funny. This is the third time it's doing today. So I always like to pay tribute to the one who brought us here together.
Amen.
Through the Spirit of Almighty God, Mr. Ashimufara respected God and brought us together so that we can uplift humanity, especially our children. So we're going to start by playing our international anthem as always. Thank you.
We are here. We are on path, shining bright into the future. Rise one, we transform and lifting up humanity as we rise, standing tall. We are the we are shining bright. We're a nation, we are rising with one soul, bringing solutions, lifting up humanity, standing tall. We are the we are
In it to win it.
To win it. In it. Win it. We are
Yes,
winning and we will continue to win. There is
mhm,
nothing stopping anyone, any unperseverant, not to win, except
exactly.
God who created unpassive. Like our CEO says, no one is going to stop on passive except God. And
That's
no one is yet to be born by a woman that is going to stop on passive except God. Why? Because on passive is for the people. On passive is built with human beings in mind. On passive is built to uplift the sufferings of the people, to eliminate exploitation, to eliminate corruption, to to really begin to produce food that are going to feed people that are going hungry. Children are
mhm,
sleeping, they're going to bed hungry, they wake up hungry. They look into the distant air and they see emptiness. They don't know where and when the next bowl of soup is going to come from. Because we are here, that is exactly what we are doing, and we're going to continue to do it because when you want something in life, if you want better for yourself, you have to step out of your way. You have to get out of yourself and start giving what you want to others, especially those that need it. Not long, you will start receiving it, and we continue to give. And not just receiving it, you will have an overflow that you can't even know how to contain it, and you will just let it flow to others just the way God has created it. So this is very important. It is important for all of us that are here. It is important for us on Perseverance. It is important for Mr. Ash Mufara that we continue to do this. What else are you going to be doing if you don't do this? This
mhm.
is what we are called to do. As God's creation, we are called to look after one another, especially after the little ones. We are called to help, especially those that cannot help themselves. And this is what we are doing, and I thank you guys so much for always being here and being supportive, because together there is no mountain that we cannot move. Together there is no child that we cannot reach with a bowl of jollof rice, like I will call it in my dialect, jollof rice, a bowl of soup, a bottle of water, or clothing that is appropriate for the cold weather or for the hot weather, and a desk. And this time, our desk is the internet. We will be able to buy so many desks, internet desks, computers, and all those gadgets that are going to help children so that they can study in the safety, the confines of their parents, their caregivers' home, without anybody having to bother them, without the parents having to keep thinking of where the transportation is going to come from, where the money to pay housing is going to come from, or what is going to happen to my son because I have poor internet. I can't reach my child who is gone to school in a distant place, or dying in the oceans and the seas in cross to go overseas for greener pastures, or even bitten by snakes in the forest. Because as we speak, they are there just trying to look for something to eat and to feed their families. And these are things that we all can come together and work together to make sure that we begin to eradicate those situations so that every child has to have something for themselves, to educate themselves, to eat, and to actually start building generational wealth, because we can build, and this is what we are doing here. We are building generational wealth, because without that wealth, not just financial wealth, we're talking about knowledge. Knowledge is number one, it's key. Education is key, but knowledge is more powerful when we do it. These children, but we have to do it first. Always. We cannot be teaching children without being the role models. Children really learn so well and assimilate what they learn by action. Action, action, and more action. So thank God for Mr. Ash Mufara, and thank God for all of us here who are the descendants of Unpassive. And we're doing this so that we all can reach every child in the world. So thank you guys so much for your presence, your love, your contribution. Thank you so much even for doing that in your own family and in your own communities, because you cannot be coming here without doing it first for yourself and your family and your communities. Because when we do it like that, now we begin to bring it together, and now we have this one global movement that will now reach out to every child. This is an umbrella for every child. And we need to cover every child, no matter who or what they are. It does not matter. There's no prerequisite here not to help any child. So thank you guys so much. Continue to do the great work that you're doing. The presence, the love, the hashtag, the sharing, the subscription. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, share, share, share. Don't keep it to yourself. We don't want to leave any child behind. Plus those that are pregnant, they're still going to be born. Those that are thinking of getting married, we have to cover this for all eternity, until the day that God says, okay, I've had enough. But if otherwise, even if I'm gone, it's going to be here. One Global Movement is going to be here to continue that legacy. So thank you guys so much. And let us continue to pray, put our hands together for our company and Mr. Ash Mufra, his family, and all the builders, because they are doing a lot of tremendous work. Even if they don't come to tell us, they're still doing it. We know what it entails to build this kind of technology. It takes time, it takes money, it takes effort, it takes sacrifice, and they are putting in all of those things. And we must also do our part, because you are investing here in yourself and your children. You're not investing in Mundih. You're not investing in Sister Yvonne Finn. We are doing it for ourselves. That is why Mr. Ash Mufara extended it to us, so that we can begin to do it in our own various endeavors and our own ways and at our own pace. But we must do something. Action, action, action every day. Do not sleep without taking action unless you're sick. But even if you're sick, you're still in that sick bed. You're thinking that, you know what, tomorrow we will have these AI gadgets and algorithms, and you know what, surgery and hospitalization and research into illnesses will be cut before time. Either way, it's a win-win. Everybody gets to win in non-passive, and we are already winning. I'm already winning. This is my dream. This is what I wanted to do, but now it has been open to the whole world, that I never even imagined that it was going to be this way. And to me, this is my wealth. I'm already building generational wealth. I can
Sorry
see
to, sorry to interrupt.
in
She's
the
in the, she's, yeah. Do you see her now?
yeah, she's in the chat. I think she's
Yes. Yes.
so,
Please.
Melanie, I'm sorry. You didn't appear here. Maybe your internet is a problem, but that's okay. Next time will be okay. You can still contribute in the chat, dear sister. What you have written, you can put it in the chat there, and we'll come back to it. But thank you so much for being here in the chat. Melanie was supposed to Tuesday is her day, and this is what we are talking about. We want to continue to put our hands together so that those of our brothers and sisters and families around the world that are suffering from internet difficulties, On-Passive is going to reach there. Even my brother cannot join from Cameroon. You see how our Indian brothers and sisters today are suffering the same thing. It keeps just breaking and cutting off. So we are lucky. We the lucky ones. Let us do the job plus their own, so that
Yes.
God will give us a breakthrough, so that everybody would not have to go through this anymore. So thank you guys so much. And you know what? This topic for today, it really covers for what the month of May, the great things that are happening in the month of May. So we are in O-Academy Revolution, part 118. Wow. Foundation building, a diligent investment in the first 5 years of every child to last a lifetime. Why? Foundation building. We always hear about foundation building, a solid foundation, not just any kind of foundation. Even the scripture says you build a solid foundation, a foundation that is based on love, a foundation that is based on high integrity, moral integrity, high ethical standard, a foundation that is based on uplifting our children, uplifting humanity, not just any kind of foundation, a foundation that is based on gratitude, knowing that you are here today because some other people contributed. Oh, she's here. Wow, that's good. That's
Mm-hmm.
yay. Internet behave.
I still have to tell you.
A foundation that says we were created for greatness. We were made and created for greatness. We were made to be co-creators with the Almighty God. And we are creating that here. You just need to believe. Believe it and have faith, knowing that no matter what happens, it is part of the journey. You cannot
Yes.
just succeed without failing. You have to fail your way to success. Do you know how many thousands of times that I've failed? A lot. And I don't care because I have already understood it long time ago that failure is part of it. You're going to fail, I'm going to fail. And we don't blame people for failing. We come together to put our heads together to see what we can do together to keep moving forward because I'm never going to go backward. No, I'm moving forward, and so do the children of the world. We're talking about this statement says foundation building, a diligent. The word diligent must be talked about a little bit because diligent is it's such an important word in each and every life. Diligence. You careful planning. You take a look at it. You don't just do things, you really mean it. You're doing
Yes.
it because you mean it, you believe in it, and you know that not just know, you believe that it's going to be successful. Why? Because you were created for success. If you don't succeed in anything that you're doing in life, success doesn't just come a day or two, or it takes time because God gives you a breakthrough according to what you are doing, according to your inner self. So diligent means careful planning, believing in what you're doing, and your determination to say, I will do this. I was born to do this. There is nothing that is going to stop me from doing this except the one that created me. And that is why we are here. And we mean business. Working with children, you have to have that diligence.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have that belief. You have to have that solid foundation. You have to work for posterity, knowing that when you're gone today, tomorrow that legacy continues, and that will be a good legacy that will continue to help children. So this is very, very important. And again, we are we are in a teachers week, right? Is that teachers
Yes.
week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Teachers week is very important. We know the importance of teachers, and I know we all are teachers here, but we're talking about these teachers that teach our children in schools. They are there, they play not just a teaching role, they play so many roles that we sometimes don't even realize, and we don't appreciate them for it. They are not just teachers, they are mothers and fathers, they are counselors, they are even pastors. They are nurturers. They want to make sure that the child is well-rounded, but sometimes they might fall short because first of the time, first because of a lot of students. Sometimes they don't get to focus on the student because of the educational system of the world. But now with O-CADEMY, there is no stopping knowing what your child is going through or what your child is excelling in, or the course is boring for your child. Maybe they need a higher course, whatever it is. But let us all always show gratitude to our teachers and also help our children to write little cards, letters to them, not even just buying a card, design a card, a beautiful, loving card, and mail it to those teachers because those teachers will remain a part of them for life. And we the parents, let us do something. If you are like me, you're gardening, I like to take food or take my farm produce to the schools that my son attended, even starting from Head Start. It is so important. These teachers need that. Those are their own encouragements. Otherwise, they just feel like they don't matter. We don't want that because if somebody does it to us, we will not like it. So, welcome and thank you for appreciating the teachers. If you've not already done so, do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And even appreciating Mr. Ashmufara is our number one teacher right
Yes.
now. We have to appreciate him as well because without him, I'm telling you, this one, I would not know beautiful faces like all of you here. And you guys, you are already working for one global movement and you're not being paid. You're sacrificing your time and but guess what? Your payment will come from the Lord. So thank you guys so much. I just want to give you a quote here and then I'll give the stage to our anchor lady. We thank God we were just putting our hands together so that internet can behave, and it did. So my quote is, if we have to invest in the prosperity of our nation, We must invest in the education of our children during the first 5 years so that their talents may be fully employed for the rest of their lives. And the other one is, if we are going to equalize the economic, social, and education playing field, early childhood education is key. Very important. And we need to, when we come here, we're not just coming here for entertainment, although entertainment is part of it, because you cannot just be studying or reading without getting some fun. That's why we have O-Create, O-Joy, and all those things together with O-Academy. So please, we need to take these things very serious, because this is what we're going to be doing in the world. And some of you, maybe in the future, you want to work for one global movement. That's fine, but we need this thing. That's why foundational building is very important. All of what we've been doing now is foundational. And when that time comes, you will see things just popping out and nobody can stop it. And it is only by the grace of Almighty God. So thank you so much, Melanie, for being here today. We are so excited to have you. We miss you a lot, but we also know that you're busy on ground, which is we are here, but you are also doing the practical work, the action. You're taking the action together with other people for one global movement. Thank you so much, and may God continue to bless you and give you the strength and knowledge that you need to really meet those families, women, and children. So thank you so much. The stage is all yours. You're the anchor lady for today.
Welcome, Melanie. Welcome. You're muted.
You're muted. Let me see.
Yes, she's good.
Okay, good.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
I'm saying thank you to all of you, Dr. Yvonne, and I'm greeting Sister Yvonne Finn. It was quite long. And I'm greeting also the audience that are hearing us. So you have made quite a very good introduction. So we are raising children who are going to be successful. Of course, we are not wasting our time. If we look at what is going on in On-Passive, One Global Movement, we are doing this for the future of our children. We are getting old. Tomorrow will no longer be there. So we need to have children who will be successful, children who will be able to follow. So when I was analyzing this topic, the forgotten children of the world, wait for the Lord. How would you help yourself and children understand this? I think this is the topic of today. And I was seeing it in another angle, because yes, we want our children to be successful, but remember, we are raising our children in...
One second, Melanie. 1 second.
Did you change the topic?
I don't know if I did change the topic or not, but this is not the topic for today. But because this is your day, we're going to do that topic. Let's do that one. And then this one, we haven't done it. We'll leave it for next time. So just say the topic again to the audience. Yes, say the topic again to the audience.
It is not the topic of today. Today is 7.
I must have made a mistake and changed it somehow, or we made a mistake. But that's fine. So you go ahead, read the topic again to the audience, and then we'll go with that one.
So the topic is the forgotten children of the world waiting for the Lord. How would you help yourself and children understand this?
Yes, that's okay. Yes.
That was what I saw on 7th, which is Tuesday. I don't know if you have changed it.
I think I must have changed it without letting you know, but that's okay. We are fine. We're still going to do this one anyway.
Okay. So when I was analyzing this topic, I was saying we are raising our children in the manner that they have to be successful in this world. But also looking at this topic, you find that the world that we are raising our children in today is an evil world. So one of the greatest challenges that we as parents have to raise our kids who are able to exist, we need to raise them to be able to exist in this world while not being of this world. Exist in this world, but not being of this world. Those are two different things that we need to understand deeply to be able to raise our children in such manner that they may be successful. Being able to take decisions for themselves, decisions that will affect themselves and that will affect the society around them. So this world is full of harmful things that attracts our children, especially adolescents. Today, they are so much into drug abuse with the common risk factors like mental or behavioral health condition such as depression, anxiety, hyperactivity disorder, and others. So we have seen this in previous presentation. As you know, we have had so many presentations talking about drug abuse. And all these things brings our children to lose their self-esteem and have poor self-image, poor school performance, parental rejection, family dysfunction, abuse under or over-controlling parents, and even divorce among families. So sometimes we find that the earliest influence to smoke and drink alcohol or use drugs may come from the family. If the family does not know God to be able to train their children the right way, they have to go so that they may be protected against evil in this world. So now, I wonder if you have ever thought about what it would be like to raise children in a perfect world. Remember, think about when God created Adam and Eve to live in a perfect world, free from sin. They were to be fruitful, and multiply, bear children, bring them into this world, into the perfect world as God has created it. But you think about how much of what we do as parents is related to sin. And also, we have to discipline our children in this sinful world. Those are things that parents are facing. Having children in this world, we need to discipline them, yet they are in the sinful world. We have to warn them about the dangers they will face in this sinful world. So much of what we do as parents is to direct them, raise them in a sinful world. What we are doing is that we are often navigating the space between raising children who are hopeless, naive about the world. So they are naive because they have to live in this world. They have to work, they have to survive. Yet as parents, we want them to be perfect. Will they be perfect in this world? It is not easy. So as parents, we want to protect our children. We are trying to raise them so that they can exist and strive in this messed up world. We are capable to raise them as we would wish them to be. My brothers and sisters, it is not easy at all. When I was looking at this topic, I saw that it is only God who can work in the heart of our children, so that as mom or dad, to be able to raise them, all what we can do is to create the kind of environment that the Holy Spirit, through the Word of God, through the great relationship and other people, could help our kids become what we long for them to become. We need to pray. We need to pray honestly. Pray God that He would awaken their hearts and give them the wisdom to see, analyze, and understand the world around them. We need to ask God to give them a taste of His joy and a yearning for Him and His word. When we read in Psalms chapter 16, verse 11, it tells us that you make known me to the path of life. In your presence, there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures of forevermore. So when we see this verse, it's only God who can give us light to raise these kids. We are giving these kids as gift for us. We need to raise them such as they have to be successful in this world. Otherwise, what we are working for will be in vain. If we don't bring them such as they can be leaders, managers of enterprises, managers of projects who are putting on, we may lose them because the evil is not sleeping. We need to pray that God would break down every barrier that has been erected against Christ in their hearts. ask him to protect them from harm and the snares of the devil. As Timothy has written this in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22. So we need to pray that God will bring Christian friends into their lives, at school, in activities, and even in different events and at work. We need to pray that they will be treated with Christ-like kindness and love by people they encounter. Remember, we want brilliant children who will inherit and manage what we are working for, as I said, different investment. And that's why we are all concentrated and waiting for what On-Passive will bring for us. And that is why Dr. Yvonne is putting all her efforts to put up this one global movement so that we may intervene to children who are wandering all over the world. When I say this, I focus on our continent, Africa, where we see different children are living in miserable condition, where even going to school is challenges in our days. So we need to put our efforts together as parents to be able to raise these children. But now when I was looking at the topic, I was saying, are we safe as parents? Are we safe as parents? I think we may also be lost in somehow. We may also be lost in somehow, because being able to detect the problem that our children are facing, we need to be careful parents. We are all lost as children of God, but God wants to welcome back us home. Through the story of the prodigal son, I know this story, every one of you knows it. Through the story of the prodigal son, God reminds us that no matter what we have done or how imperfect we may feel, God is always there, waiting for us with open arms, ready to renew us in his love.
Amen.
Whenever we take a step toward Jesus, we come to realize that he is right there, waiting for us with open arms. Now, it is time to say to Jesus, Lord, I have let myself be deceived in all thousands ways. I have shunned your love, yet there I am once more to renew my covenant with you. I need you. Save me once again, Lord. Take me once more into your redeeming embrace. Today, God assures us that he is ready to remove our shame, and that whoever is in Christ is a new creation, for our sins have been cast into the depths of the sea. What is required us today is that we believe in his love, trust in his promises, and take the first step towards a new life, toward Jesus who loves us, such as if we were the only one. Each one of us can truly say, Christ has loved me and given himself for me. We usually think of his younger son in the parable as the one who went astray, but both brothers have distanced themselves from their father's love. Although he remained in his father's house physically, the other boy also wandered far from home by isolating himself behind all wall of resentment and anger. So we don't know why the younger son left home in the first place. Maybe he was intimidated by his older brothers or crushed by their judgments. But what I want to tell us today is that when we read in Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, the Lord's controversy with Israel, the prophet Isaiah, Hosea warned his people by saying, my people are doomed because they do not acknowledge me. Your priests have refused to acknowledge me and have rejected my teachings, and so I reject you and will not acknowledge your son. So the Bible is clear today, is clear and teach that every man and woman and child ever created was intentionally knit together by God with purpose and immense potential. The Bible also teaches us that our sufferings and struggles aren't waste, that our areas of weakness are opportunities where God's grace can most effectively be experienced and displayed. God has not forgotten children. Perhaps the issue at hand is not their intention in an inactivity of God, but the difference of his people. God has not forgotten any of his children, but God's children do often forget. We forgot, but God has not forgotten us. Yes. So over and over again in the Bible, we are told that those who confess that Jesus as Lord are to be saved as his witness, ambassadors, and his very body, as Jesus himself noted, you are the light of the world. So my brothers and sisters, let us be the light and shine to our children. The moment ourselves we know the truth, the moment we know that we are living in the world of evil, we will be able to train our children in such manner that they will be children who will be focused in whatever they learn at school. They cannot focus if we don't show them love as parents at home. Remember, in our world today, we find so many dysfunction in families, and this dysfunction in families affect our children. So we need to be careful, be near our children, show them love, follow them at school, knowing what the teachers are giving them outside, being near them, close to them in their education, so that we may raise capable children, intelligent children, and children who have wisdom. The moment our children have wisdom, they will know to analyze what are going on around them in this world. And they will perform, they will exceed. We will not even worry that they can achieve their dreams. So today, my prayer to all of you as parents in the room, and even those who are following us, my prayer is that may the Lord give you fearlessness for the sake of the gospel as you interact with your child, along with tenderness, humility, and compassion that can draw your son and daughters closer in relationship with you and ultimately to relationship with Jesus. May God grant you wisdom to know when to speak, what words to speak, and when to remain silent. May he cause you to shine with his glory and grace so that the fragrance of Christ will be evident at all times. Amen. Thank you so much. Back to you, Sister Yvonne.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well done. And this is actually the route we need to take, the natural route for our children. And this is what we're going to do. There's no other route. And I want to just say one thing here. But first of all, I want to apologize for the mistake I made. But hey, the topics are here. This is what we need for our children. So I'm going to read the topic again one more time so that the audience can hear. The forgotten children of the world wait for the Lord. How will you help yourself and your children to understand this? Now, before I'll give the room to my fellow panelists to speak, I want to make a little disclaimer here. Always is good, because people, we are different and people think differently. And this is not a platform to induce or coax or ask anyone to join that this is not a church. But what you see here, it is because the greatest book of wisdom, the Bible, is what we grew up with. I grew up with the Bible. That is the first book that I learned how to read. I don't even go to church. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. But this is the way I was brought up. And so do my fellow panelists, so that nobody here thinks that we are preaching anything. No, this is the way that we raise children. And this is the way that the greatest book of wisdom instructs us to raise children. Because if you're talking about high moral values, you're talking about ethical values, you're talking about empathy, sympathy, you're talking about love, you're talking about patience, diligence, you're talking about all those good things. These are the things that the greatest book of wisdom teaches. So I just want to make that little disclaimer, because some people can be funny and say, oh, they are trying to force me into a religion. This is not a religion. But One Global Movement helps children through kingdom connection. There is no other way. And why not? In the future, we will see what will happen, because this is the only way for our children. And I think for me, and I think everybody else will say for themselves, because I don't see any other way but this way. So thank you guys so much. I'll let my fellow panelists go ahead before then I can say what I need to say. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just jump in because, as I told you earlier, sister, I'll have to leave at exactly sharp 2:00. So
no problem.
Yes. Okay. So Melanie, thank you very much. That was absolutely perfect. And it covers our lives actually from the cradle to the grave. There's no reason to deviate from what you just said. It's very grounding. And this is what we need. Our identity is the most important thing. And it comes from our Creator. Nobody gives it. Nobody takes it away. So thank you so much. And then the first law of life is the law of love. And I was talking to Sister Mundih earlier, and I'm saying that what we can give our children is our attention and our time. And I know that it's been hard because many parents cannot afford to do that. They give their kids out to be taught and handled by other people because they have to go to work. But here is where Unpassive will change all that if we have the mind to do that. Yes. Because God gave us children, but they are treasures. They are not burdens. They're not commodities. They're not just to be farmed out to say we have a child. We are raising the next generation, literally, right? And we are the ones responsible for that. So we should learn these things that you mentioned, and then we inculcate them or pass them on to our kids. And then this is how we will better the world. Unpassive is there, but our job, Unpassive is not going to raise our children. We have to do that for ourselves. And I'm just so grateful that you brought all those points out, because it's exactly how it is. We must be responsive and be there for these children. But of course, as Dr. Mundih is always saying, we must know this for ourselves. So it's a very good cycle or circle. And I'm so grateful. Thank you. It's a marvelous presentation. Thank you, Melanie.
It is. Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what? I am just so happy. Sometimes when I say I don't sleep, I mean it, because when I hear things like this, I don't even want to sleep. I think Esther here. Do you want to go, Esther, before I go? I'll put you here.
Okay. I'm a bit confused here. You were apologizing to the topic here not being what we are discussing. Am I correct?
Yes. I had to switch the topic, but I did not tell Melanie. And so the topic for today then becomes the forgotten children of the world wait for the Lord. How will you help yourself and your children understand this statement? The forgotten children of the world wait for the Lord. That is the discussion for today. I'm sorry about that. It happens. I have just too many things in my head.
Well, this is an impromptu discussion. Yes. Anyway, I think the whole thing boils down to the parents of the children. Just like Melanie was trying to address, the parents are the ones that have the bulk things to do for the children, just to make sure that when they grow up tomorrow, they will not have them to blame, nor blame anyone. So our hands has to be on deck, we parents. That starts from the womb, just to show your child the way the child should go. Just like you said, we are not preaching Bible, we are not preaching Christianity. Our Bible tells us, we also make reference to that because that is the only book I know that is real on earth. You know, I say, teach a child the way he should go, so that when he grows up, that what you taught while they were infants will not depart from them. So we parents, we have a lot of work to do in the lives of our children. If you want that your child to be what you want that child to be when they grow up. And how do you start doing that? It has to start from the womb, from infancy, before they turn out to be 5 years old, just like the topic that is showing here is. So we need to make sure that we have critical period of brain development as soon as a child is born. And that brain development, you can see it in two lights: neural connections, which has to do with that the brain that undergoes the most rapid development during that period of 5 years. Plastic, the brain's plastic is the ability to adapt and change. So at that point, these children, before they turn 5, they are looking at everything. Their brain is like magnets. They are picking everything that the parents are doing. They are observing and taking records by sight, by seeing, by action. We're talking about learning capacity and early education. We have to start training our children if you want them to turn out good for you in future. If you do not want them to blame you when they grow up. And you yourself as a parent, you have to observe yourself. What are you doing? What lessons do you want that child to get from you? Your behavior, your character, your dressing, your attitude, your spoken words, the way you relate with people. These children at this tender age, they are looking at it, they are observing you, and whatever you do, they will take it to be the real way to behave, because they will not have any other way to compare your behavior, because you are the one that is directly with them at that developing age. You have to teach them, let them develop their languages through the languages you speak, numeracy and problem solving. Even if you are a parent that is not lettered, there are things you can do that relates to 1 and 2, 3 and 4. All those basic numbering. Even when you're cooking in the kitchen, you can start getting your child at that age to start counting the number of pepper, to start counting the number of onion, or to start counting anything within the kitchen you are doing. Get that child close to you. When you are in the kitchen, make sure the child is not close to fire. Even if you don't have a little seat, try to carve out a little seat where the child will sit distant away from the fire. As you are doing that, they are emulating you. At a point, they want to ask you to allow them to do that. This is training. Do you do that? Are you one of the mothers that who give your child breakfast? You don't think of lunch. You don't think of dinner. Maybe when the time comes, you carry your children, you go to the restaurant, you eat. And that child will grow up to be somebody that is always having the taste for outside food. They may not even know how to boil water. Is that the kind of child you would like to bring up when the time comes? Tomorrow, who are you going to blame? If it's a girl, the girl will get married and will not have anything, nothing to be in a home. And maybe the man the child will marry will be one that doesn't eat outside. How will your child stay in that marriage happily? We need to think of all these things. We need to coach our children from day one. Another one is social and emotional development, attachment and bonding. Some parents have children and they just leave the children for the maids, especially the working mothers. They have no time for their children at all. You don't know when your child is in a kind of emotional problem. When they come to you, you come back, you're very tired. Maybe that child is coming to you to have that bonding. As the mother, you do not have that time. You're already tired. How are you going to address all these things? You need to be there for your child. Health and well-being. Nutrition. You need to make sure that the food you're giving your child is the one that will make that child to grow properly, so that the child will not develop any health issues. Because whatever you feed the child from start is what that child will use to grow. You need to also address that. Resilience and coping skills, stress management. As the mother, we are all stressed out. We have a lot of things to do, both at home and at work. When we go to work and come back, the least thing in our mind is to add additional stress to the ones we have had at work. But we have 2 jobs to do. For those mothers and parents, not only mothers now, even dads, make sure that you are able to, you have an outside work that will give you the strength and the will to also handle the job you have inside, because we are employed in 2 ways. Okay, So the last one I might want to address, I know that this is very impromptu, is educating your child. I have said that employment and earnings, whatever you are doing, try to compare the benefit of teaching your child at home and that money you are earning. Money is important, but the most important one is bringing your child up in a way that child should grow, and you will be proud that I am the one that raised this child. The child is out there, your heart is not skipping. Who knows what he has done outside or she has done outside? You are comfortable. You know what you have, the stuff you have put into that child. And you know that when that child goes there, your heart will be at peace. Are we in that position? For those of us that have children, are we proud that when those children go out there, they are going to do what they are supposed to do as a child that is brought up from a good home? So let's think about that, parents. We need to make sure that we are giving the children the stuff they need, they desire to grow up as somebody that can represent you out there when the time comes. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. You know, thinking about this question, the forgotten children of the world wait for the Lord. How would you help yourself and your children understand this? Why are the children even forgotten in the first place? The forgotten children of the world. They didn't say the forgotten children of God, but they said the forgotten children of the world. Why are these children forgotten? There are so many reasons. Some of the reasons are understandable, but some of the reasons are not. We know that these are children, and a lot of the things that happen to these children is not of their own making. First of all, it is us, the parents, the caregivers, and the adults around these children. And so, forgotten because nobody pays attention to them. Why are children not being paid attention to? Why? Do you see children in your community? I know that I see them here. They are begging on the streets. They don't go to school. I see them every day. Why are these children being forgotten? What did they do to deserve that? I am going to read the scripture that says, discipline your sons and your daughters, and they will bring you peace. They will bring you the delights you desire. That is a command, and this is a command from the scriptures. We need to discipline these children. The number one thing that I always want to say is, if you know that for one reason or the other, you are not going to pay attention to your child, please do not bring this child into the world. Don't do it.
Yes.
It's better not to do that, because it really hurts my heart, because a lot of kids, people just go lay around. They didn't plan to have those children. They just want to enjoy themselves without even thinking about the consequences. And when those children come along, now they either give the children up for adoption, and the child will be moving from one home to the other, and the child is abused, or they don't even care, or they relegate their children into the hands of people that will continue to abuse those children, or even for TV. Don't bring children into the world that you're not going to love, you're not going to care the way God wants you to. That is the number one thing. And number two, why are these children forgotten? There are so many socially challenged things in the world that caught the children in the middle, and the children get confused. Imagine because of greed, because of power, because of the lust for money. People are causing a lot of damages. They take children to cause a lot of difficulties in the world, and these children end up suffering. Parents that are being killed in a situation of stupid, senseless war. Excuse my language, because it really hurts my heart. When I look around, I see what is happening. These children now, even in a situation of war, what are you doing? You're running for your dear life. Some people don't even think about their children anymore, because they want to go to safety, because safety comes with you first before you start looking to save the other person. And these children are left behind. They are forgotten. They are abandoned. And sometimes children are ripped away from their parents and placed in places that are not okay. And when you rip a child from the parent, instead of training the parent to take care of the child, you rip this child, that child can never grow well, because That child must bond with the family. There are lots and lots of things that these children have been forgotten. But the key here is the parents who gave birth to these children. You need to take care of these children. And if for one reason or the other, you are not prepared to take care of this child, look for a decent family. A decent family. I say decent because most of the places that we relegate our children into, they don't take care of those children. These children come out traumatized. They're abused in several ways. And when a child is traumatized from little, it goes on for generations on end. That child will also turn to traumatize other children. So these children are forgotten for a lot of reasons. But the number one thing that we have been instructed to do is to love our children. When you love your child or your children all around, that child, you have built a very solid foundation, and you have helped that child to find his identity, his God-given identity. And that child will grow up to know that, you know what, I can do this. I am loved, and so I have to give this love to my own children or to other people around me. We have built in that child empathy to really put themselves in the shoes of others before trying to do something that is not good. No child is born with hatred. No child is born with envy. No child is born with inaction. They copy from us, we the parents. They can go out there, they will see it anyway, but when we build that foundation for them, they will fall back on those good things. So it comes back to us. We need to love these children. We need to know what our children are doing. And we do that by action, not just saying to them, go do this. And while you are not even doing it. And sometimes we'll fail as humans. But when we are focused on loving our children, first of all, loving yourself, then you will transfer that love to your children. And when you find yourself slipping off, then you will quickly pick up yourself and you go back on track. Let us now in one global movement from unpassive, because unpassive is built for the future, let us be determined to raise these children, whether they are our children or not. Some children are being adopted. You don't have to be a biological parent in order to really love a child. We can all come together to love these children and really loving them, not just loving them and leaving them. We have to put something tangible in place because the child has to eat. The child has to wear clothing. The child has to live in a good home. The child has to have an education. The child has to have all of these things that come with life. They have to breathe clean air away from polluted areas. And pollution is not just company pollution or manufacturing company pollution. The pollution of people's mouths, the pollution that they pollute our children with bad words, the pollution that they are going around with bad friends because they saw it from us. This is what we are talking about. This is not a joke. Look at the way the world is going. Do some research in every country. Even in your own city, do research and see what is going on. The pollution of selling our children to sex trafficking as young as 10, 11, 12. All kinds of pollution. The pollution to want to impose on the child without even studying the child to see if this child, what does this child love to do? What was this child created to do? Because we are all created to do something great for humanity. We need to find out and educating these children the way they should go. And thank God, education now is not just going to be the secular education of the world. It's going to be the kind of education that is tailored to meet the needs of a specific child and to let that child study according to the way they understand, according to their own speed and accuracy, according to how those things appear to them. And then we will have these algorithms that are going to really monitor the child to see what are their emotions like, what are they lacking, what can we expedite to make this child be successful. And this child will study hands-on, like the kind of education that the Sister Yvonne research and sent to me. I'm like, wow. This is the kind of education that I so wrote down for One Global Movement. And some people told me, you're just doing things out of space. You're not going to see that anywhere in the world. And I said, it's going to come. God will make it come for One Global Movement children. And Here she comes with that. And this is the spiritual education. If you don't lay the moral foundation for a child, any kind of education whatsoever, it's not going to stand. And that education is love, because in that love comes moral values, comes empathy, comes determination, comes love, comes action, comes knowing that you are human only through the human of others. You are human only through the humanity of others. The education that says it doesn't depend on my parents' bank account. It doesn't depend on whether I'm short or tall. It doesn't depend on the color of my skin. It depends on the fact that this is a child and this is a human being, and we all come together to do this. I say this because of my life experience. And I don't want no child. And this thing happens in homes. Even kids are abused in their home, they are not loved. So we need to, this education, when it applies to the child, it's going to apply to us, the parents, as well, because we need to really change our entire existence and do things according to the way that we were created to do. Because of my background, I am standing firm upon the foundation of God to see that these children will come out well. It's good for a child to be happy first. If that child is not happy, that child is not loved, that child is not nurtured, not fed with the right foods, that child does not feel like they belong, that they are welcome, they are appreciated, that child begins to develop mental illness. And whatever you are telling that child or you think you're loving, it's nothing. It's not going to amount to anything. So let us come here and do things. Take away greed, take away power, take away discrimination, take away anything, take away the fact that you have to go grab something that doesn't belong to you. And then you put a child. If you put a mother and a child in a precarious situation, how are they going to love that child? Then you must have destroyed that community and that family, and therefore you're destroying the entire of human beings and our children. So thank you guys so much for this great contribution. And I know that one of our sisters need to go. We are going to start appreciating you. Thank you so much, Sister Yvonne. Melanie, you did it. Keep this topic, because we have to keep repeating things again and again and again, because repetition is the best way that we can teach ourselves and these children. This is very, very important. Thank you so much. And let us appreciate our audience here. And if any question, guys, ask your question, post your question to Melanie. She is the anchor lady of today. She will answer your questions. So thank you. Let me see. Oh, I didn't go up to the top. Okay. Greetings and welcome to all our awesome supporters to One Global Movement, where we hashtag Speak with Heart for all children globally. Please share your comment with us on the topic for today. Yes, we know that we changed the topic. This is not the one, but we're still coming to this one probably around next week. And then this topic is so appropriate as we celebrate Teachers Day and Week, certainly. And hello, everyone. Welcome to One Global Movement. Speak with Heart. Today, please feel free to comment here in the chat. Please type your thoughts on today's topic. Thank you so much, John. And let's all celebrate the teachers, folks. Thank you to the teachers of the world. Yes, we are celebrating teachers. And of course, you are one of them, John, because really acting those movies, you are a teacher. You are uplifting children too with acting those movies. Thank you so much. And we have Rita. How are you, Rita? Rita Shakma, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us here today. We highly appreciate you. Thank you. And then hashtag investing children, hashtag globally, investing in children, hashtag globally. And then hashtag educate children. Yes, that's what we are doing here. And thank God that some of our supporters like Melanie, they are really on ground doing the work, action, because we're going to be speaking with action, not just speaking. Some of them are behind the scene doing it. There are some in Cameroon, they are already actioning everything out and getting these children involved to start building what is called generational wealth. But we need to build their mindset, number one. So hashtag Dr. Mundih, thank you. And hashtag, okay, hashtag. Hello, Levi, how are you? morning, afternoon, and evening. #family. Kenita, how are you, Kenita? Thank you so much for being here with us today. We highly appreciate you. And of course, Sir AP Madhusudanan is here today. Thank you so much for your knowledge and your wisdom and your understanding to treat our children with equality, determination, and education. Thank you so much, sir. And Ashok Kumar, thank you so much for always being with us and supporting us. We highly appreciate you so much. Our prayer for Mr. Ash Mufara, sir, this planet's second God. And thank you so much. And you write in Hindi too as well. Thank you. And Yvonne says, greetings, sir, AP Mahusudanan, and welcome to #One Global Movement. Kenita says, thank you, welcome, Levi Mamabolo and Yvonne Finn. Yes. And Ashit Sangma is here today with us again. Thank you so much, sir. Namaste. Yes, you're welcome here. Thank you so much. We highly appreciate your presence here. And Levi says, #Teachers Day, #Children of the World, #Mentoring, #Empowerment, #Education. Thank you so much. And we have the topic really coincide with the celebration of Teachers Week. Yes, it does. And of course, Nokuthola is with us here today. Thank you so much for joining us. Wherever you are, we highly appreciate you for being here with us today. And we have Yusuf Ador. Hello to everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. And of course, at last, Melanie came to the panel. We thank God for that. And Mr. Barilla is saying hello to all of us here. Rita, Ashid, Levi, Nokutala, AP. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much. And I'm just going down to make sure that we don't leave anybody's name out. And Telian, Momin, how are you? Thank you so much for being with us. We love you. We pray for you. And we appreciate your presence here. Thank you. And going down. And Sister Yvonne says, focused, consistent action towards one chosen purpose and goal. Yes, focused. Focus. Okay. The internet really permitted Melanie, and now we don't really worry. She did it. Okay. And SAP says, #One Global Movement, #Unpassive, Mr. Ash Mufare. I really love that. #Foundation Building for Children, #Fun, #Fun Foundation for Tomorrow. Yes, Foundation for Tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, Brilia. How are you? Thank you so much for being with us. And we have teachers are important and should be appreciated. Teachers are special. #One Global Movement, #SpeakWithHeART. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Elvi is here as well. Thank you, the mommy that launching here again. Thank you so much, guys. We highly appreciate your presence and your contribution to children of the world. Thank you so much. And let me go down here. And guys, as you listen, Sunday is going to be a special One Global Movement YouTube broadcast. Why? Because Sunday is Mother's Day. So we're going to put, I don't know how to call it, something online that is going to be fun that everybody can participate. And then we're going to gather here on Sunday at 8 p.m. to celebrate and thanks to all our mothers. As you cut it off. So now we have Cheryl Bass is here. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you. Thank you so much. And now this topic, the forgotten children of the world wait for the Lord. It's a very important topic. And thank God that Melanie brought it home today. And even though the internet has kicked her out, but she did her work already. So thank you. And Esther says, Levi, how are you doing today? Ever present as always, you are welcome. Yes. Mr. Levy is always here. Catrice, how are you, Catrice? Thank you so much for being with us here today. We highly appreciate you. Come again and let us share, and share. Melanie is back. Okay. And then Sir AP, with you're back. We said we thank the internet. The internet gave you space to talk, and now the internet takes you out, but you've done majority of the job. So, but we are glad you're back. So Sir AP says, with minds that bloom, like that's a poem. He's a poet. With minds that bloom like gardens, bright and vast, they sow the seeds of knowledge, build to last. Their gentle hands, like sunlight, warm and true, nurture young minds till dreams take vibrant hue. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is so uplifting. Well done to everyone present today. Happy we have blessed timekeepers. Really proud of you all in all you do for the children of the world. Yes, we really thank them so much. And then children must be imbued with an unshakable sense of identity. Yes, 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 yes. Certainly. Nobody should, and we have to really invest in them in such a way that nobody can shake their identity, no matter who they are, except the God that created them. Very important. Thank you so much. And Fabian, thank you so much, Fabian, for being with us here today. We highly appreciate you. And of course, Sopana, thank you for always being here and supporting us. We highly appreciate you. And then we have Sanjaya Kumar is here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We all are so grateful that we are coming together to begin to help children worldwide. Thank you so much. And we have MD Manik. How are you? Thank you, sir, for being with us here today. My love on Parsi founder, Bangladesh, Face Fuchsia. Flower-shaped face fuchsia flower. Wow, that's a very nice poetic reading. And peace. Thank you so much for being here today with us. We highly, highly appreciate you for being here with us today. Thank you. And then we're going down. We're almost done with the list. And then Late Kumar Sudha, thank you for the beautiful flowers and prayers, and thank you for supporting children worldwide. We highly appreciate you as well. Then we have Pankaj Sahu. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We highly appreciate all the newbies, the new people that heard about One Global Movement and decided to come here to lace with us so that together we can help children worldwide. Every child deserves a lifting hand. We need to give them a lift, the best lift that will last for posterity, so that no child has to be in a situation where they are helpless or they are abandoned or they are forgotten for any reason at all, because we came through this route unpassive. Thank you so much. In science, math, MRCA and YMRCA, mitochondrial DNA, we all are born through one couple. So we are all sisters and brothers. Unpassive slogan is also one humanity on only one globe of Earth. Certainly. I'm glad that you are reasoning like that. I can remember from one of the our Indian webinars, you said humanity is one. Humanity originated from one place. So all of these differences is only beauty in diversity. And this is what we want to help our children understand. It is not something to take to laugh one another, to talk down on other people, or to relegate others to the background. The better we know these things, our children are going to be better off as well. So Melanie, thank you for your presentation, which covers from cradle to grave. Yes, that is a very wonderful presentation. Yes. And all living things are with the same energy, which is the particles of universe. So powerful, or energy of nature is our own, and it's the same. Thank you so much for that knowledge. It's wonderful, and we want to make our children to begin to understand this as we also understand it as well. Thank you, Sir AP Madhusudan, and that is how it should be in an ideal scenario. Ideal in the way that God created it and nobody else. I very much agree with you. That is why when I go to any webinar, when something is said contrary, something that people want to put other people down, nobody can rise to the top by putting other people down. People that actually talk people down, put people down, they're actually inferior inside of themselves, and they want to think that I have to rise up in order to put another person down or another country down. That is wrong. It doesn't happen that way, because in every country in the world, there are kids that are suffering. There are some that are excelling. In every country of the world, there is darkness, there is light. In every family, there is darkness and there is light. But our ability and efforts to continue to make sure that we learn these things, especially through OnPassive that has offered us the blessings of a lifetime, we can begin to change our mind. Because when we hear people speak in negative terms, you begin to wonder what is going on with their children. How are they indoctrinating their children? Are they building hatred in their children? Are they building envy, jealousy in their children? What are they building? We begin to question these things. And I am one person that when it concerns children, I will protect them by all heart. Thank you so much. And the hashtag elastic brain is pliable and modelable. We must be aware of being emulated by our children at an early age. The first 5 years, very important. Thank you. And thank you all attendees. We appreciate your support and presence always. Of course, you all are amazing. Without you, we will not be here. And without us, you will not be there. So we all come together as one to do the best that we can for our children and humanity. We must be present and responsive to our children and interact with them as much as possible. Not just being present, we interact. You can't just hand something to your child without spoken words, with a smile on your face. This is very, very important. So, hello, Nancy. How are you? You are at work and you managed to sign in. Thank you so much, Nancy. We appreciate you. And Sir Epi Mahusa said, they are not forgotten, but neglected. That is the right word. I really love you for that, because you bring in this knowledge. They are not forgotten. They are neglected. That is neglect, and that is a crime. They are existing on all continents. The causes of departed children are numerous with different reasons. All cases are not dealt with the same one law. Thank you so much, Sir Epi. I really thank you, because your perspective is a global perspective, like Mr. Ashman Farah. You can imagine, you made a statement someday that there is darkness in all countries. There is darkness in India, not just in Africa. We all originated from Africa. And not to say that because I am an African, but the work that we are doing here in OnPassive is to bring the world together. OnPassive wants to bring the world together under one umbrella. The earlier we embrace the fact that we originated from the same great parents, the better. That means we are appreciating the creation. We are appreciating what God created for us. And this is what we are doing so that we meet every child to make sure that every child belongs. It doesn't matter their country, because they're going to be exchange programs from One Global Movement that children will go all over the world, and they have to really be comfortable and settled to know that they are loved no matter where they go in the world. Thank you so much, sir, for your great heart contribution. Thank you so much. And Nama Das is here. Thank you so much. Thank you for always praying for children. We appreciate you. And BDU Day, how are you? Thank you so much for being here with us today. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. Keep coming and keep encouraging others to come, because we want to build these children all round in every society. Hello, Dalma Lepka says, children are the world's most valuable resource and its best hope for the future. Yes, thank you. Children are the best assets. Yes, thank you so much for that. And Doma again says, hashtag One Global Movement. Guys, let's put it together. Hashtag One Global Movement, put it together, not separate. Because otherwise, artificial intelligence will not be able to read it. So put it together. Hashtag OnPassive. Hashtag our children and mothers have to come together. And then OnPassive together in capital letters. Hashtag OnPassive family come together. Everything has to be put together, okay? We are all learning from one another here. And we see our brother, Divya. What happened? You didn't come to the stage today. Maybe the internet was going to behave, but that's okay. You're still contributing in the chat. We love you. Hello, honorable sisters. Hello, our brother. I love hashtag One Global Movement. We love hashtag One Global Movement because we are using unpassive. Without unpassive, we will not be here doing this. So thank you so much. Din Islam, how are you? 100% with beautiful flowers. Thank you guys so much. We have come to the end of this session. This is May. May is a very, very important month in our lives. May is the month of rebirth, rejuvenation, a month of sowing a seed. You're planting life. When you plant life in a child, when you plant a seed, you are planting life in a child. You're planting life that knows that you are dreaming for a bigger tomorrow. So let us plant even flowers. If you don't have a plot, a piece of land to plant it in a pot. There are flowers that grow in. You're planting life. Plant your own flowers and smell them. Get your children out in the yard, working in the yard, planting a seed. You see me on Facebook. If you are on Facebook, you will see me. I started last Saturday plowing and planting the seed. And that is a community garden that I use to teach all our children. And I also have an acre behind my home here. That is what you're going to be seeing me doing those things. And hopefully I will put something together to bring it here, because without that seed, without planting a seed to get food tomorrow, our children will not be able to eat. And if a child doesn't eat, any form of education will not amount to anything for these children. So we want to make sure that they eat quality food. By the grace of God, One Global Movement will own organic farms all around the world, so that food can be hauled from these farms into schools and or into the homes of parents to feed these children. All right. So thank you guys so much for this. And Doma says, we on Pacifian are the hope of light for the people who are in darkness. Yes. 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 Mr. Ash Mufara, we thank God for him. We really thank God. And though I tried enough, but it shows me scheduled consistently. Don't worry. It will come. I know that you are a fighter. You don't usually give up. It will come, okay? But thank you for contributing in the chat. Don't know why. Well, we don't even have to know why, but we know that it's going to be fixed. It's going to be fixed by the one who sent Mr. Ash Mufara to us. So thank you guys so much. For those of you who can attend at 8 p.m. do. But we invite men and women and children to Sunday's special One Global Movement edition for celebrating Mother's Day. And watch out on Facebook. We have a contest that is going to go out on Facebook. Please go there and do your best. It is going to help us, our families, and particularly our children. So thank you guys so much. I will see you guys at 8 p.m. if you can make it. If you cannot, don't worry. Tomorrow is a better day. And keep loving, keep kissing, keep nurturing, keep sharing, and keep being that good role model to your children and children in your community. And always remember to stay focused, stay encouraged, stay empowered, and always believe in endless possibilities. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.